I just detest rude, unladylike young ladies.
I hope you don't mind me being a tad rude.
I myself am strange and unusual.
Don't be rude.
That is some weird, wild stuff.
Shocking, isn't it?
It's a scandal!
But it's provocative.
Please stop making me blush.
Hello and welcome to Impolite Society, specifically Society Chats. This is the very sexy format where Rachel and I don't actually do any notes. We just talk about what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're watching, whatever's going on in our very not exciting lives. That's a bad sell, isn't it? But
it's exciting. Our lives are exciting. And sometimes we even share weird facts that we learned that are interesting that aren't quite full length enough for an episode.
I kind of have one, actually, kind of right off the bat.
Oh, do it. I want to learn something new.
Okay. This is in regards to my eyeball that is continually on a journey. For the listener, I have a blocked tear duct in one of my eyes. I have been through the gamut the last 3 months. I've seen numerous doctors, 4 to be specific, and I finally got to the doctor that I need to, an ocular plastic surgeon. He took a look and he said, yep, you have a blocked tear duct, and he wants to do a surgery that is called the DCR, a dacrocystor. I'm sorry. Dacrocystorhinostomy. So the interesting thing is how this procedure is done, because I am continually amazed at how much shit the human body can take.
Yeah.
So what this surgery entails is making a slice on your face to open up the area next to your nose. So think like right where, like basically wherever your under eye bags would like meet your cheek.
Yeah.
That would
where
be
else would you cut, right?
Yeah. Where else would you cut? And then I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm out. I'm 40 years old and I feel like I'm just kind of starting to look my age. You want to put a face scar right where like my under eye bag would start. Hard no. Like,
and the older you get, the worse your scar too.
Exactly. And I'm like, nope. So that's how they do it. They cut there to open up and view your tear duct system, which runs from the inside corner of your eye down, actually underneath bone in your facial bones, and then drips into your nasal cavity, kind of at the back of your nose, back of your throat. So what they do in this surgery then is they bore a new hole into your nose bone on that side so that they can puncture your lacrimal sac. So basically it's creating a new drainage system through a new hole in your nose.
So it doesn't actually resolve the blockage.
No.
It just lets it drain somewhere else. You would think that it would be easier to clear out the blockage than it would be to drill a hole in your face.
Thank you so much, Rachel, because that is exactly what I thought. But the first thing I want to mention, it is called a tree pan. Like they refer to it as a tree pan. And I was like, I fucking know what a tree pan is. You're not fucking doing that shit to me.
Say, you're going to open up your third eye. You can see the world. Maybe your one eye's blocked from the tears, but the other one can see now. So that's all you need.
Yeah.
You can see auras.
So that was my whole thing. And I'm like, okay, that seems extreme. Like you said, it seems like it would be just easier to clear out the blockage. And so I've gone down this like internet rabbit hole, right, of like reading about a bunch of different people and things. And I found quite a bit in terms of like personal, stories of people who have done this and been like, I instantly regret it. And then, that's for like, one for every however many thousand that get it done happily. But then I'm reading research papers about like all these other surgeries that, they don't have as high a success rate, but we're talking like 85 versus 95%. I'll take the 85% chance, no problem. It's just a 10% difference to avoid getting a hole drilled in my nose. And so it like you said, it just seems so fucking extreme rather than clearing the blockage. And I was sitting there as I'm leaving the doctor's office thinking, I'm like, okay, I feel like I can think of 5 ways just right off the top of my head of how to clear a narrow space that's plugged with something that doesn't involve poking a hole in it.
Yeah.
Going
and
up the
draining
other
it
way.
somewhere else.
Yeah. Like, think if you had like a little thin coffee straw that was clogged. How would you go about
Blow.
immediately? I'm like, vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, vacuuming. Second of all, I was like pressure wash or like basically like douching it. You know what I mean? Like a high pressure. Like, so suck, blow with water, you know, blow with saline.
Squish it a little bit, crunch it up.
Yeah. Like massage it, right? I can only massage it so much because the lacrimal duct is actually behind your facial bone. But I can get to like the top of the sack by massaging it. So about 3 to 4 times a day, I have to milk my eyeball nowadays. So that's really sexy.
Groove.
Sometimes I can get it. Like, I don't do it on purpose, but like I'm trying to like really get it right. And so I'm real close to the mirror and I'm like pressing and it goes and it hits the mirror.
God.
Yeah, it's gross.
The human body.
I know. It's disgusting. It's so fucking gross. So I guess that's my tidbit is just like modern medicine, man.
It does
drill a new hole in your face. Case
it does
closed.
seek to correct, right? It's all about it's like fix at all cost instead of like mitigating damage or it sees things that are not normal as things that need to be corrected as opposed to like things to work instead of working with what you got.
Yeah, or just like trying the less extreme versions. Like it's not working. Like I get that. And I'm sure that the DCR surgery is applicable in some cases. Like the admin that I was talking about, she's like, well, if it's anatomical. I'm like, it's not anatomical. I had a really bad cold. And the shit that comes out of my eyes is like milky in places. There's a mucus plug in my lacrimal duct.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It just needs to come out. I don't need to reroute the entire
you just start
tear
crying.
system.
Start watching The Notebook or whatever.
No,
and just
actually,
cry.
I was watching the Oklahoma City bombing, the new ones. I know. New documentary on Netflix.
No.
I don't recommend it because
Shut it down instantly.
I cried like a bitch. And then I was like, oh no, this is good for me. Like trying to like get
flush
the
it
tear
out.
duct
And maybe you
going.
just need to cry more.
Yeah. So that's my tidbit.
That's not anything I ever would have thought about.
Yeah, your tear ducts, you don't think about them until something goes wrong, man.
What else can we drill holes in our face to drain? That's the real question.
Oh, I think probably anything or everything. So we've already covered the, tree pan. You can drill a hole in your forehead to try to open up your third eye or whatever. We can drill a hole in your nose to make your duct drain. I mean, I'm sure there's like nose cavities that you could drill into, right? And just like blow your
release the
nose through the roof
pressure.
of your mouth, right?
Ooh.
Something
Just
like
drip
that.
it right in.
Yeah. It'd be so
That's-
much easier to do like a saline like thing, right?
Yeah.
Just right into your roof of your mouth.
Well, drilling holes in your face, that is brutal. But what else is brutal? The Hunger Games. And I am like back in the Hunger Games full swing. My
Movies or
obsession.
books?
Books, because there's a new book that came out from the author.
That.
Sunrise on the Reaping, and it's about Haymitch's story. So the mentor from
I
the
liked
original.
Hamish. He was one of my favorite characters.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Harrelson. So I
like how you said that.
I'm like, I am not sure what his last name is, so
You're
I'm just
right.
gonna
You got
like
it.
shoot in the dark here. One of your true detectives. So I figured you would like it, him. But yeah, it's modern masterpieces. I think Suzanne Collins is a pretty good author. She's what we were promised with J.K. Rowling, but didn't get.
Didn't get how?
Because J.K. Rowling is the kind of disappointing in other ways.
Oh. I mean, I think your storytelling is
I will give her that because I'm a big shitter honor of endings. I think it's really hard to write endings. And I was like, okay, Rachel, think of a book where you like the ending or like a story that you like the ending. And I'm like, I don't know, Harry Potter's ending was pretty good.
Yeah.
The way like he was the Horcrux and everything and he had to die and come back. I'm like, she could tell that it was put together nicely, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to a lot of people who have a concept, wizard school. And they can't wrap
They
it all
can't
up
close
in the
the
end.
deal.
Yeah, so many good stories, so many cool premises just fly off the handle in the third act. It's just nuts. But that's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
We're talking about Suzanne Collins, and I will literally read everything she writes. If she writes 75 books, 76, one for each Hunger Games, I'll read every single one of them. Because I really like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, too. So I might reread that, because I didn't know it existed until 2023. So I only read it a couple of years ago.
That?
That is the prequel to the Hunger Games, a prequel to a prequel. It's
also
about
didn't know that it existed.
Yeah, it's good. It's about the President Snow, like the big villain. It's his origin story. And it has I was gonna say it has Rachel Zegler in it. No, but she was the actress in the movie who they can't make me hate her. I'm sure she's obnoxious to be around. She's a theater kid who's good at theater. Those are like the worst kind of people. But I just like girls talented.
I don't know who that is. And
She was Snow White. I'm sure Snow White,
I don't care.
and people's hatred towards it has got to have entered your social circle. Your social sphere.
Definitely that. But I don't know like the actress's name. Like I prefer
I love
to
her,
keep
Rachel Zegler.
I prefer to like not know too much about the actors that I watch. Like I just like to be immersed in story. Do you know what I mean? Like who they are doesn't matter that much to me. But then of course when they do something particularly heinous, like no, that's like I heard Kevin Spacey was getting ready to work again. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
That's not cool. There does get to be a tipping point, but as far as like somebody being annoying, oh well.
Oh yeah, she's like 20-year-old theater kid. She got cast in West Side Story. Who is the Steven Spielberg directed it out of high school. She was a self-taped send-in, and they casted her out of like an open cattle call.
Wow.
And so, yeah, of course you're going to be somebody who's pretty into yourself after something like that happens.
Totally.
But I think she's very talented. I think she's very attractive, and I like her. So she was in that movie, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
I didn't even know they made that movie. Apparently, I've really been underneath.
You slacking on your Hunger Games. It's just
Clearly.
It's the story of this generation, this younger generation. It's their Harry Potter.
I read the 3,
They're good.
I mean, I was not obsessed like I was with Harry Potter. It didn't grab me in the same way, but I did enjoy them. And I think, honestly, I don't know what this says about me. I was less interested in all of the dystopian future. Though, I mean, there is some stuff with the Capitol. We talk about it a lot of like how America is just like turning into the Capitol.
It feels like it.
It truly does. But really, it was just the parts of like within the games that were always my favorite. Like the killing and killed and the action parts and like the survival stuff.
Yeah.
That was what really kind of kept me coming back.
That's what I like about it is the political intrigue is like an addition to that, and you just pull back layer after layer, and she's got so much context in it, and thankfully TikTok exists so people can tell simple me what was actually happening, and I'm like, oh wow, that's impressive, and I'm just like flipping the page like they did what?
Yeah, I liked Hunger Games. Maybe I should check it out. I haven't read
Ballad
like a
of
proper
Songbirds and Snakes, I think, is very different than the Hunger Games because the actual games in that one is it's like a smaller section of it. It's more about like the outcomes of the war, and then how Snow like came to be, and it's more psychological for sure, and it's in the perspective of President Snow, so it's interesting. Actually, I think it's third person. Everything else is first person. Which, did you know people say first person's bad? I didn't know that. I've heard
bad how
like it's a book that is in first person is going to be as good as a book that's in third person. And I was like, I had no idea. I didn't know that.
I kind of agree though. Like I don't think that I've ever really thought about it, but now that you're saying it. Yeah.
It's like a standard self-insert kind of.
Yeah. And that's why it's kind of annoying. And then I also feel like it's annoying because in a third person, the author is kind of your disembodied narrator, right?
Yeah.
But if it's told first person, and they're like, and then I noticed how the water dripped on the leaves at such an angle that it like insert some beautiful simile. You know what I mean? And then it's just like awkward and weird. And you're like, do people think like that?
No.
No. I think having the objective third person that can kind of go on tangents and take you to, I guess, more creative spaces as opposed to being in someone's head.
Right.
So I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad. I think it just depends on what you're writing and what the format is.
Well, some of the top first-person books, according to Goodreads, does include The Hunger Games. So
I don't remember it being in first person, so clearly it didn't affect me too much.
Suzanne Collins is such a good writer. She breaks two big rules right off the bat. You know, one being in first person and two opening the book with the main character waking up for the day, which is something they tell you not to do in writing circles, but on reaping day, of course, that
Didn't
works.
fucking I think the Court of Thorn and Roses started with that.
And it's also first person, so that's two strikes against that one.
Maybe that's why it was so insufferable.
As well as Percy Jackson, Divergent, so a lot of books for
never
children.
saw Divergent.
Twilight.
No, I really hated Twilight.
The Handmaid's Tale.
Never read it.
It's a bummer. To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, well, that's a fucking masterpiece.
Oh, I just read a book in first person, and I didn't even realize it. Circe. I just finished that last week.
What's that?
By Madeline Miller. She had her moment a few years ago. Oh,
Man, I'm really out of the loop on
2015. A few years ago.
I am really out of the loop on books. I mean, I used to go to the bookstore, and there was not a shelf that I couldn't like be like, read that. Like I used to devour books, and now I only read book club books that I'm assigned one every 2 to 3 months. And even then it's like a 50-50 gamble if I'm going to
actually finish it or not. Well, your problem there is that other people are picking the books for you the majority of the time.
True.
I guarantee you that if you picked books for me, I would not want to read them.
It's definitely challenging. But even, I mean, this most recent one, I picked it and I really liked it, but it did take me fucking a month to finish it because, I mean, I was listening to the audiobook. I also had the paper, the actual book in front of me. So I kind of switched between the two. But like, I don't know, like I used to have so much more time or like
energy, because reading's hard. You have to dedicate and focus yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're tired from dealing with work and kids, and then also we're all addicted to our phones now, it's just
don't do
harder.
too much scrolling, but like I do find like when I'm like I have some spare time, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put on a podcast. I'm gonna put on a podcast that like wraps up in an hour and like tells me a story and goes through the arc, and I can get some sort of closure at the end of that hour.
Instead of like getting a tiny little mouthfuls.
Exactly.
And then trying to piece it all together.
Yes.
That is hard. Because I do a lot of audiobooks. And so I am literally just getting them in little snippets that are in 30 minutes typically.
Yeah.
Because that's something else I've done that I'm choosing to bring up now that it's like the last part of the month. I did myself a little challenge of 5K every day until May. And so the month of April, I've run a 5K every single day.
Good for
did
you.
20,
how long
number
is that?
26
I don't even
today.
know what that. How long? How many?
3 miles, 3.1 miles.
Shit.
So it's not
You
anything crazy.
Ran?
Yeah. So I
Fucking,
was so
you need a gold medal. You're an Olympian as far as I'm concerned.
I was so focused on trying to squeeze in long runs because I've been getting back into running. And I'm like, there's no way. I ran 8 miles, I think, in like February, and it's an hour and a half. And like, that's not time you have when you have small children. So it's either like I give up the entire nap or I was trying to reinforce myself that, smaller activities can have more impact. So that was like, I should say that, speak my reality, right? put it into the world, it becomes real. But I was like, that's going to be really embarrassing if I talk about it and then I don't actually do it. So now that I'm within striking distance, I'm like, I'm going to start talking about it.
Good for you. My lack of physical activity is legitimately embarrassing. I won't comment on it other than to say I'm ashamed.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, everybody's got a lot going on, especially parents with 2 children. You there with 2 children, same
Well,
thing.
because I don't work, I take the kids on the runs with me sometimes if I'm like too lazy to get up in the morning and do it.
I work from home. I have plenty of time that I could. Well, I mean, it depends on the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to get myself into a solid routine of like especially now that it's nice, you know?
Yeah, just try to do like half an hour every day.
That's all I need to do.
And walking, whatever.
And then
it doesn't
I have
to
a
be
fucking elliptical machine in my house. And if it's rainy, I could do it.
Yeah. I don't like indoor equipment that much.
I don't either.
I need to go outside.
But even when I go outside, I'm just like, why am I walking past these same fucking houses every day? Like,
Oh
I
my
need
God.
like a
That
I need
burnout
like a
was
trail.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I run the same loop in the park.
Yes. It gets annoying.
Goddamn day now. I mean, it's got to be hundreds of times since we moved into our neighborhood,
Same.
like in 2016.
Well,
you
maybe
right?
not as many as you have, but I mean enough, right? That I'm kind of bored of it. And it's like a cat, right? Like how much territory does like a cat? You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel
how
like
much
humans have to be like
within
really
the
big.
Yeah,
a couple of miles, right? That you have your own different bits. I was thinking about that today. I took the kids. It was a beautiful day, so we took the kids to the park and we hung out there for a good long while. And there's like this little like culvert. Is that what that's called? Where it's got like
cul-de-sac.
Like the rain drainage thing.
Oh, mm-hmm. Those
culvert
sewers.
No, it's like the tube. It like goes through the underneath the grass of the park, and then it kind of empties into this rocky area.
Oh, I don't know what those.
Well, whatever
there's
it's
a guy on YouTube who unclogs them.
So, Amelia was running around, and then she was like sitting there and like at that, like it was full of some water, and she was like poking at it and then like pulling out some leaves and pulling out rocks. And I was like, shit, you're getting muddy. I don't care. Like, have fun, kid.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it would be nice if we had like a little creek. You know what I mean? Like
To
just
go,
like, yeah, more like area, more places that are less civilized, I guess. To explore.
That's why we can never imagine living anywhere else because we're right next to the park. It's got creeks, pond, naturescape, multiple playgrounds.
Yeah.
3.1.
I mean, we have a playground within walking distance, which we're hella spoiled on that.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for it, but it would also be nice if there was also a creek. A water feature. Everyone loves a water feature.
Oh, who doesn't? Yeah, the sound is just very relaxing.
Yeah.
So what else did you have for this week? I've done a lot of talking about things.
Okay, I do have something that I'm proud of. I went through a shit ton of clothes. I have a giant box that I'm giving to Goodwill full of clothes that I've decided, no, thank you. Some of them fit, some of them don't, but I'm just, no matter what size I am, I'm just not interested. You know what I mean?
Right. And like sometimes you're like, oh, I could wear this. And by the time that happens, you're like, it would be so out of fashion. Like it would be so out of style. I would look like that lady at the bank who wears the shoulder pads still. Well, actually, shoulder pads I think are back a little bit. So
see,
maybe.
Okay, and that's the thing. So,
but it'll be wrong in a slightly different way.
Totally, that's 100% what it is. But I have a lot of clothes. I mean, I've run the gamut on weight from like 160 to like 210 pounds. Like there's a lot of sizes in that span, and I have a lot of clothes. And there's some clothes that like right now I was going through, like there's so many business clothes, right?
Get rid of them.
I have no need for them. But then I'm looking at them and I'm like, some of these are just like so distinctive and like unique that I'm like, I just want to save them. I don't really know why. Like I have a highlighter pink collarless blazer.
I feel like I remember it.
I used to wear it all the time at the bank. I don't know. I just have some interesting pieces that I don't have any need for. And I do fit now, but I'm just like, I don't know. I boxed them all up and put it away. But I found a skirt that I had bought on a trip. You know how it is when you're on a trip. I'm just like, I'm buying things. And I bought some skirt that was really cute. I was pregnant at the time. I was a size 16. And I'm like, I can fix this. And I did. I tailored the fucking skirt. It had a belt, like a fabric belt. I was like, fuck this. I don't need this. So I took off I undid the seams and like took off the belt and then restitched the sides and then tailored it in the back and brought it down to size. It took me a lot longer than I would have hoped, but I did it. And hopefully
That's
I will wear it.
Yeah,
well, it took
wear
a lot
it
of
tomorrow.
time.
Just wear it around. I don't
Just
know.
wear it around the house.
I wear dresses around my house because I'm like, where else? What else am I going to do with them? And I
Yeah,
also
that's
don't
fair.
like waistbands on my middle anymore. So I basically just like to wear muumuus.
No, I just wear my big comfy jeans and they don't.
Yeah, I do
It's
like my
barely.
low-rise jeans. The lower cut ones are better.
I like that high.
They don't dig into your stomach as much.
Well, these are so high. It hits at my narrowest spot. So
Yeah, but then when I eat, that spot increases.
that's fair. That's fair.
And so then it gets really tight and I can't breathe.
Fair.
Just the facts of life.
I also have an entire tub, like a Rubbermaid, like, you know, those big ones that are used for clothes. I have an entire one of those that is only full of denim.
Get
And it is.
Denim is something you feel like you must hang on to. I don't know why.
It's because finding a pair that you actually like is like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
And so again, runs the gamut of sizes. And I'm like, I'm not getting rid of these. I did get rid of some that were like really worn,
Yeah.
you know, that I had like sewed patches on the inside of the thigh of. I'm like, okay, these can go. But the other ones, I'm like, no, because there's skinnies, there's straight, there's boot cut, there's boyfriend. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to be in next. And so I'm just keeping
No
them
way
all.
to prepare. So yeah, just cover your bases.
Yep. Some of them not even opened. Like they're from like Gap and they're still in the paper
Oh my
because when I
gosh.
find a pair that I like, I would buy a couple.
Oh,
Yeah.
smart. I only have a couple pair of jeans. I feel like I have 3.
Really? Only 3?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I have so many fucking jeans. Obviously.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think off the top of my head, like 3. And then I have a couple emotional attachment ones that I just need to get rid of.
Yeah. No, keep them. Because, and this was what I was telling Austin, I have some of my mom's clothes that she used to wear in the 70s and 80s. This shirt is one of my mom's shirts.
Oh.
And I have 3 in my closet right now that I put back because I now fit them after kind of my weight loss and I just tried them on. It's kind of fun. You know, I'm like,
Well, it's definitely made better
Yeah,
than when any
100%.
crap made today.
100%. And even if, like, I don't know, I just want my kids to kind of go through it. Because I remember going through my mom's clothes and, like, thinking about it in the sense of, like, oh, this was a time in her life. You know, she probably bought this for an event. And I don't know. And I just like clothes and I want to keep them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel you on that. It's hard to get rid of them because then you're like, as soon as you do, you're like, oh, I could have worn that. Womp wah. Even though
So
I only
many
wear the
dresses.
same 3 things in the day to day.
Oh, yeah. I wear yoga pants and T-shirts or hoodies. That's what I wear day to day.
I like hyperfixate on a specific item and I'll wear like one thing nonstop for 2 weeks and then I never wear it again.
Yep. Same.
Whatever. I just go to Goodwill and I buy like some things and then those are the things. Those are the things that I wear for that, fortnight.
7 years ago.
Rachel bought a athleisure shirt that she never took off.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up this society chats of books, facial surgery,
I
clothes.
feel like this was an intellectual one. We didn't talk about TV at all.
Woohoo! Good for us.
We're moving up in the world.
Move it on up. I thought you were going to finish that. That's fine.
To the east side.
There you go. Great. Good. The lyrics were spot on.
Finally got a piece of the pie.
You can sing 10 times, but whatever. I'm not going to bait you to sing. You know you're a great singer.
Not a great singer.
Okay. We're out. Impolite Society chats. Check us on a real episode if you're just tuning in. I should have said that at the start.
Yeah. Well, if they're this far. They've already committed.
Exactly. Check out our real episodes. Message us. Email rude@impolitesocietypodcast.com.
Let us know what you're watching, what you're reading, what we were wrong about, because we were egging on ACOTAR and first-person books.
Give us the business. We want to hear it.
Always.
Okay. All right, guys. Stay curious. Keep marching to that beat of your own drum, girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever.
Or they
thems, they friends. Out.